If you live with a female cat, you have probably heard dozens of claims about cat behavior and cat psychology, that females are moodier, more independent, and harder to understand than males. But the real differences between male and female cats are not what most people think. Today, we uncover 8 cat facts backed by science, including one cat health fact that could save her life. Signal 1, the right paw. The next time your cat reaches for a toy or tries to pull a treat out of a narrow space, watch which paw she uses first. In 2009, researchers Deborah Wells and Sarah Millsop at Queen's University Belfast published a study in the journal Animal Behavior. They tested 42 cats on 3 different tasks and found a clear pattern. Female cats tended to favor their right paw, while males tended to use their left. But here's the part most videos leave out. This preference only showed up during complex tasks, like reaching into a container for food. On simpler tasks, both sexes used either paw without a consistent pattern. And the researchers later noted that paw preference may be connected to hormonal differences and could develop between 6 and 12 months of age. Not a cute trick. A window into how her brain is wired. Try it yourself. Place a treat inside a narrow glass and see which paw she reaches with. You might be watching lateralization happen in real time, but the next signal is the one that matters most, because it involves a health decision that, depending on when it was made, may have already changed your cat's future. Signal 2, the heat cycle. Many cat parents believe that keeping their female cat indoors means they do not need to worry about her reproductive cycle. But here is what actually happens. Female cats are induced ovulators. Unlike humans, they do not release an egg on a regular schedule. Ovulation only occurs after mating. So an unspayed indoor cat who never mates may go into heat again and again, sometimes every 2 to 3 weeks during breeding season. Think of it like an alarm that keeps going off because no one has pressed the reset button, except the reset never comes. She may vocalize intensely, rub against surfaces compulsively, and appear visibly restless. These are not behavioral quirks. They are caused by hormones, and for many cats, the experience can be physically uncomfortable. Now, here is the part almost no one talks about. Research published by the University of Pennsylvania found that cats spayed before 6 months of age had a roughly 91% reduction in the risk of developing mammary cancer. Cats spayed before 1 year had about an 86% reduction. But after 2 years of age, the protective effect disappeared almost entirely. And over 90% of mammary tumors in cats are malignant. That is a far higher rate than in dogs. This is not trivia. It is one of the most important health decisions you will ever make for a female cat. Has your cat been spayed? And if so, do you remember at what age? Tell me in the comments, because it may help another cat parent make the right decision. Signal 3, female cat colonies. Have you ever wondered why, in a home with several cats, the female always seems to know every room, every corner, every routine before anyone else does? You may have heard that feline society is matriarchal, that female cats run the colony. That is a useful simplification, but the full picture is more interesting. In feral colonies, females do tend to form the stable social core. They are often related, they cooperate in raising kittens, and they share territory. Males, especially intact males, tend to roam across larger areas and move between groups. So the colony structure is more accurately described as matrilineal. It is organized around related females, not dominated by them. The important nuance is this: there is no strict hierarchy the way we see it in wolves or primates. Cats do not have alphas. What they have is familiarity and tolerance, and it is the females who tend to maintain those networks. Think of it like a neighborhood where the long-term residents know every corner and every neighbor. They are not in charge. They are the ones holding the social fabric together. That is what a female cat does in a multi-cat home. And that brings us to one of the most widely repeated claims about female cats, one that sounds scientific, cites a real university, and is almost certainly made up. Signal 4, the observer myth. Several popular videos claim that female cats are more observant than males, citing a study from the University of Lincoln that found females scored higher in vigilance and environmental awareness. I looked for that study. It does not appear to exist. The University of Lincoln has published excellent research on cat behavior, including work on feline personality and the owner-cat relationship. But a comparative study ranking female cats higher than males in vigilance does not appear in any journal or database. What we do know is this. In 2017, a team led by Litchfield and colleagues identified what they called the feline five major personality dimensions in cats, including impulsiveness, dominance, neuroticism, extroversion, and agreeableness. These traits varied enormously between individual cats, but the variation was within each sex, not between them. In other words, your cat's personality is shaped far more by who she is as an individual, by her genetics, her early socialization between 2 and 7 weeks of age, and her daily environment, than by whether she is female or male, not gender, identity. Signal 5, hidden pain. Guess which part of your cat's face can tell a veterinarian more about pain than almost anything else? This one is real and it matters deeply. Cats are exceptionally skilled at hiding pain. In the wild, showing weakness can attract predators or rival cats. So over thousands of generations, cats evolved the ability to mask discomfort as a survival strategy. But here is what needs to be corrected. This is not a female trait. It is a feline trait. Every cat does this regardless of sex. The claim that female cats are even more likely to hide pain because of some added maternal responsibility is not supported by any published study. What is supported is a validated tool called the Feline Grimace Scale, developed at the Université de Montréal. It measures 5 facial cues: ear position, orbital tightening, muzzle tension, whisker position, and head position to assess pain in cats. It works for males and females equally. The next time your cat seems a little quieter than usual, pay attention to her face. Changes in the shape of her eyes, a subtle tightening around the muzzle, ears slightly rotated outward. These are not expressions, they are evidence. If you have ever noticed your cat acting slightly different and felt something was wrong, even when everyone else said she was fine, you were probably right. Trust that instinct. Think of it like someone smiling through a headache because they do not want to worry anyone around them. And before we finish, there is one condition specific to female cats that most owners have never heard of. Stay with me for that. Signal 6, scent marking. Another common claim is that female cats use their facial scent glands with more precision than males. This is not supported by research. Both sexes have identical pheromone-producing glands in their cheeks and chin, and both use them to mark objects and people as familiar and safe. Your cat is not claiming you. Well, actually, she might be, but gender has nothing to do with it. The calming effect of feline facial pheromones is real. It is the basis for products that replicate the F3 fraction of these pheromones. But neither the production nor the behavior is more developed in females. When your cat rubs her face against your hand, she is not performing a female specific behavior. She is doing exactly what every cat does. Not dominance, not territory, belonging. If you are still watching at this point, you already care more about understanding your cat than most owners ever will. Tell me in the comments, what is the one thing your cat does that you have always wondered about but never found a real answer for? Signal 7, the human bond. Have you ever wondered why your cat saves her quietest, softest sounds only for you? In 2019, researchers at Oregon State University published a study in Current Biology examining attachment styles in cats. They found that around 65% of cats displayed secure attachment to their owners, a proportion remarkably similar to what studies find in human infants. And the study did not report any significant difference between male and female cats. Your female cat may follow you from room to room, save her softest sounds for you alone, and ignore everyone else. But a male cat can do the very same thing. What determines the depth of that bond is not sex. It is trust, routine, and the quality of time you spend together. And now here is the part that almost no video covers. Signal 8, the hidden risk, pyometra. It is a bacterial infection of the uterus that primarily affects unspayed female cats, usually after the age of 5. The uterine lining thickens with each heat cycle, creating an environment where bacteria can multiply. If untreated, it can become life-threatening within days. Symptoms include lethargy, loss of appetite, increased thirst, and sometimes a visible discharge. But in some cases, the infection is closed, meaning there is no external discharge, and the only signs are subtle behavioral changes. This is not a rare condition, and it is entirely preventable through spaying. If you have an unspayed female cat who is getting older, this is the conversation to have with your veterinarian. Not someday, soon. You can find the full list of scientific sources in the video description. If you have noticed that your cat treats you differently from everyone else in the house, there may be a reason that goes deeper than affection, because cats do not see us the way we assume they do. And what they actually perceive when they look at you might surprise you.